you know?
You know, what's crazy about family law is it kind of doesn't end. People think our relationships with our clients are going to be from the date of filing and then the divorce concludes. But the one thing that everybody kind of forgets about is that we have minor children in common. I tell clients all the time, because they're kind of struggling on whether or not they should get married. Sometimes I'm doing prenup consults and everyone is trying to figure out whether it's really time to take the plunge, but they'll already have kids. And it's so funny to me because that tether isn't 18 years. You know, you have kids.
Yeah.
I have kids. It's not 18 years. You have parents too, right?
Yeah.
Because children are the longest tether that people have. So when you have a divorce lawyer, you form a relationship with a person that could be decades and decades long. It's one of the reasons that I think it's important for people to find an attorney who is going to be there for decades and decades. When you're doing a prenup, when you're getting divorced and you're young, if you're finding a lawyer who's also on the younger side, they're going to be there for you in 15 years. And that litigation keeps going even after people get divorced. They get into skirmishes and squabbles related to their kids. If you really want to make a very huge commitment to somebody, marriage is certainly a huge commitment. But if you want to really make a lifelong commitment with somebody, you have a child.
Yeah. Yeah. And I think, you know, when you, it's funny because you say the word divorce lawyer, I think the divorce lawyer and like, who they truly are for that person is their family lawyer, right? It's their lawyer that's going to be there with their family. And I don't know if that you dabble in this. Maybe you do. You let me know. Is like asset protection, things like that. Because I think there is probably some overlap where you know that if there's a couple that's getting divorced and they hold their assets in a certain way or or they don't have a prenuptial agreement, things like that, there's a way that it can, I guess, hurt later on if there is a divorce, right? Or at least hurt one person.
Yeah, so it's interesting. So asset protection as a divorce lawyer is really, well, it probably has a lot of similarities through, like, not a lawyer that does creditors work, but kind of, because spouses can obviously become very adverse to each other and become each other's own worst creditors and beneficiaries too. Being a family law lawyer, and I think you're exactly right. We shouldn't call ourselves divorce lawyers. We should call ourselves family lawyers. Some of my most contested cases, the people were never married.
Yeah.
But they're still fighting like hell. The family law lawyer does a ton of investigative work when it comes to assets. As a family law lawyer, and I think it's important for law students to know this, if you're not sure what area of law you really want to touch, if you're not sure what you really like to do, family law is an incredible area to learn what you want to do. Because if you want to know about real estate, you're going to have to know about real estate. You want to know about cryptocurrency, you're going to have to know about cryptocurrency. You want to know about offshore holdings, you're going to have to know about that too. Contracts, yeah, we got that. It's every single area of the law is contained in family law. It can be amazing, and it's so not boring. And other days it can really suck.
What are some of the things that you're doing, you know, like you said, the investigative work for finances, right? If there's a husband and wife or spouses or whatever that are getting divorced, and sometimes you just have to begin that investigation. What are some of the things, the tools you use to find out the finances?
So that's a really good question. First, to anybody who's out there wanting to hide money, the worst thing that you can do is start posting about all the cool shit you bought on Instagram. And we're allowed to curse on this show?
Yeah, of course.
All right, awesome. So your new Ferrari, probably don't put that on there, because the first thing everyone is going to do is subpoenas are going to go out everywhere to figure out what dealer you got it from. A lot of the investigative work that we do comes from applications for loans. You're going to buy a house, you're going to buy a car, or you want to refinance, or you want a loan to the SBA. All of the stuff where people represent their best financial foot forward, it's in all of these applications. And so we get a hold of that. Everybody, when they go to divorce, we have an acronym. It's called RAIDS, Recently Acquired Income Deficiency Syndrome. Everybody is poor the second they step foot into the courtroom out of their Bugatti, right? In there, they're really rich, but you walk in, you're not rich anymore. The first place we look are all these applications that people fill out. We employ the work of all kinds of forensic accountants, professional people who can do searches, who can do this, who can do that, but we can do quite a bit of ourselves. I mean, and yes, you make it really easy for us when you post the Ferrari on Insta.
You handle, at your law firm. What's the name of the law firm again?
Forrest and Forrest.
All right, and it's and Paulina Forrest. You're one of the partners, right? Like you handle a lot of these high-profile cases. Is this something that you see where people end up posting the Ferrari, or they end up actually posting the Bugatti or something, and you say, "Aha, let's go"?
Yeah, people are still people, whether they're rich or whether they're poor or whether they're smart or whether they're not, whether they're well traveled or whether they're at home. People are still people. And one thing is that people are emotional. When you are breaking up with somebody, breaking up with your family, no matter how cool you are, you're going to be hurt. And so we react. And one really big way that we have of reaction right now is social media. People are venting. Just right now, when you're venting on social media, know the other lawyer is watching, and we are, and people can't help it. No matter how intelligent they are, no matter how much they know better, it's going to happen. 2:30 a.m. is going to roll around. You're going to be like, fuck that bitch. Look at this. Upload. And it's a treasure trove. So social media is a really good tool for us, but we have others.
You must advise clients, at least when you sit down, especially in these high profile or high net worth cases where you have a client, they're going through divorce, you sit down, and I know it's something that I discuss with my clients, is don't post on social media, right?
Yeah, we say it.
Yeah.
They don't listen.
They
don't listen. Social media is really different now. What you and I are doing here, it's professional, it's personal, it's cathartic, it's connection. It's the same as saying to someone, don't share this with your best friend. Don't talk to your mom about this. It's really hard. This is a huge part of our culture now and of how we communicate with each other. And we tell our clients day in, day out, don't post this. Inevitably, it happens. And if they're not posting it, their best friend that they went to the Ferrari dealership is.
Yeah, yeah.
So it's out there.
And then it's out there.
Yeah.
So I see like one of these other really popular topics right now are prenuptial agreements. Do you recommend them?
Not always.
Not always.
Not always. And obviously it's a really big part of my business. But a lot of times when I have young couples, or one half of a young couple rather, coming into my office to talk about a prenup, the first and most important discussion you have to have with your lawyer is this something you need? Because people have grown up thinking that I have to have a prenup. I don't know where guys read this. You guys must have a book, or I don't know if it was that Kanye West song or what it was, but at some point in time, every young man grew up, became successful, and decided I must have a prenup. And so I'll get them in my office and I'm like, all right, so tell me why you want a prenup. Tell me what you want the marriage to look like financially. Okay, well, I want to protect everything that I had before I got married and I met her, I built this thing. And then, everything we build together is just going to be ours. I'm like, okay, but that's Florida law without a prenup.
Oh, really?
Right.
Okay.
And so then we're going to have a talk about why we thought we needed one to begin with and what happens to people professionally. 9 times out of 10, when I have the talk, it's they knew somebody who went through a very nasty divorce, or one of their parents did, or one of their family members did. But when we talk to young couples about the prenup, it's a tough conversation, because no matter how much you're in love and no matter how much you think this person is going to react really well, it is a romance killer. So the most important thing a divorce lawyer can do is, number one, ascertain is the prenup necessary. And number two, if there is a benefit to the client, do not kill the romance. Yeah. These are romance killers. These people are in love. They're in the best time of their life. Yeah. And the wrong lawyer can make it disappear.
Yeah, that can be hard. It can be hard, but like you said, I think you're saying like the guys now these days, and I guess maybe some women, I don't know how the gender
gals.
breakdown is. But like, I think it's definitely a newer, like, popular thing. I think it never even crossed my mind. Like, prenup wasn't even on my mind.
You didn't get the book.
Is there a book out there that's like, you
didn't get the flyer?
I didn't get the flyer. Yeah. I didn't get the notice. But again, I don't know that it was like there was a stigma to it. I don't know that the stigma is as big as it was before. Right?
People are getting married a little older now, and I think that's a thing. Also, we have a lot more entrepreneurs. Entrepreneurs are the people who can benefit the most from prenups. Yeah. And entrepreneurs starting out younger in life are pretty rare. Usually we see the entrepreneur starting their entrepreneurial venture after they've been married for some time. But if you have started it before you're married, then a prenup can be a really, really valuable asset. Look, prenups can be valuable for everybody, but it really just highly depends on what marriage is to you. And it differs so much from person to person. And I think it's really important before you go down the prenup route with a client is you need to understand what they think marriage is. And I do prenup consults all the time, and no one ever answers the question the same way.
Yeah. Yeah. I don't know. I guess it's almost like the prenup. In my mind, it's always been like, hey, we're planning for us to eventually get divorced. You know what I mean? When you're supposed to be saying this is going to be till death do us part, right?
Yeah.
For the rest of our lives, you know? So
Yeah.
I guess it has that nuanced.
Yeah, you're hedging your bets a little.
Yeah.
And it doesn't feel good to say that to the fiance. So the most important part, find out if you really need one. And if you do, find a lawyer who can protect your underlying relationship while they build your prenup for you. Because otherwise, boy, will you hate that lawyer if you end up not getting married at all.
Sure. Yeah, that could backfire.